Welcome back to the Best College List series. If this is your first time here, I appreciate you. If you're a frequent visitor, thank you as well. We're going to look at the University of Miami today. First thing I want to say is that I want to be clear that for any parent who is watching this and has a skewed um, vision of what Miami is now versus what it used to be. Once upon a long time ago, Miami was known as a big time party school. Yes, it's in the city of Miami, but the culture that was there in the 80s and part of the 90s, I do think the school administration did a great job of not just cleaning up, but edifying their academic program and making sure that the students are um, the right fits for the school. So again, no school is perfect, but Miami is a school that I recommend, a school that I like to visit. Coral Gables is gorgeous. I know great people who went there, so I'm an advocate for it. As always, I want you to look at schools from the lens of, the cost. You're looking at 88.4. Location, it's in Miami. Academics, we're going to look at the possible majors, excuse me. So we're going to the cost, location, possible majors, say that in a second, and then possible careers. But I want to start with cost. It's right there in front of us. Miami's not a cheap school. Sorry, that's financial aid. Got a little ahead of myself. Miami's not a cheap school, right? It's clear that the city is expensive, the cost is expensive. But again, look at this great faculty to student ratio. It's not a public school; it's a private university. I always want to make sure people understand that Miami really is a special and unique place. That it has what a lot of kids want, which is the rah rah, right? The big football game and that Division 1 energy. Uh, but it also has great academics as well. So if you, I'm at a restaurant having lunch. Um, if you look at their acceptance rates, early decision, 60%. That is great. If you're applying early decision, I don't know if it gets better than that. That's amazing. Early action they also have, which you apply by November 1 and hear back in January. And then they have, excuse me, the very paltry 5%. Miami is going back to standardized testing, so they've been test optional for a while, given the pandemic, but they've announced that they're going back to standardized testing, so people need to know that. And here are some of the admissions considerations and admissions policies. You always want to know the academics, the activities. We're going to talk about that in a second. We're going to talk about the admissions requirements, which we're looking at here, and then we're also looking at the acceptance rates. Okay, that's always want to look at as you're looking at a college. Excuse me. So if I go to programs, I want to make sure that Miami is rich with a lot of different academic programs. The software that I'm using to show you this stuff is called Custom College Plan or College Planner Pro, and it is an awesome tool that we use in house with our clients. Part of that is is that I can do a lot of comparative analysis. I can see where Miami crosses over with other schools, what schools are most popular to the University of Miami. That's good to know as I advise students on where they should be applying. And then their essays, very important. I'm able to get an early view of what the essay requirements may be, including the supplemental, requirements. I love essay writing. If you've been following me for a while, and I think it's very important that we pay close attention to it. Um, again, this tool is amazing, but I'm not here to show you the tool. I'm here to talk about the University of Miami today. So let's do that. If I go back to my statistics, I go to school website links. Anytime you're visiting a school, if you don't have access to College Vine is very good. College Guidance Network's very, very good. There are a lot of different websites that have, kind of built-in score, Naviance, whatever your school uses, have good platforms to kind of navigate schools. But you can always go to a school's website. And when you go to a school's website, you first want to learn about their academics. Do they have the academic programs that your child or students, if you're listening, you may be interested in? So here we have, the schools and colleges, departments and programs, School of Architecture, Arts and Science, Business, Communication, Education, Engineering. Obviously, this is graduate school down here, but they do have an undergraduate marine bio program that I've had a few students go to. I'm very excited about. Looking at their undergraduate majors, and all the different majors that they have within the school. This is actually laid out really, really well. So again, always want to look at the academic programs of the school. And then next, you want to look at the activities, right? You want to look at what is the student life like? How do I go? Yes, so student life, right, again, it's in the city of Miami. Well, Coral Gables is outside of Miami, but again, that's pretty darn gorgeous. And I can tell you, someone who visits Miami as often as I can, and I try to make my way to Coral Gables, it's an incredible environment to be a student. Arts and culture, again, it's outside the city, but you want to look at things that are important to your child, whether it's spiritual life, whether it's study abroad programs, their dining facilities, all these things you can find under the tab of student life on most schools' websites. Yes, Miami is known for their athletics and college football eligible playoff teams and ACC. I believe they're still in uh, major sport. So it's a great place again for a private school. So it's not a state university. It's not a huge state university. So after you look at the academic, you look at the student life, right? You want to know what goes on around. You want to look at the admissions process, and if you come here, you learn more about their undergraduate admissions. Now, again, if I take you back to Custom College Plan, I can look at their online net price calculator. Oops, sorry. I can look at any financial aid info that they may want to share. Okay, so they're going to make sure that they give you information about the institutional scholarships that they offer at different junctures. Let me try that again to the net price calculator. Oops, okay. I saw it earlier. Sorry about that. But I always want you to look at the common data set. And again, from their website, you should be able to get there. Tuition and aid, net price calculator. There we go. So net price calculator you can get directly from the Miami website. Sorry, my link wasn't working, but you can get, this is where you would go anyway. And you want to make sure you read a lot on situations, students with divorced or separated parents. How does Miami handle their financial aid information? Student without test scores, actually, this will be updated for next year. So again, academics, activities, admissions requirements, and acceptance rates, right? The other thing, common data set. Yes, yes, yes. I want to make sure that you always know that these schools give you a ton of data about their enrollment, about their budgeting, their institutional priorities, and where money is being allocated, how many professor to student ratio. So you can always look at a school's common data set. You can just Google said school, Miami, University of Miami, common data set. Obviously, I have direct access to it, but it's a wealth of information for data leaning people who understand how numbers work as it pertains to enrollment management. So this is me waving my hand saying I'm an advocate for the University of Miami. I want students to learn about their academics, their activities, what the city of Miami or Coral Gables holds for them, the admissions requirements, and of course the acceptance rate. I am a fan because of the wealth of programs that are within schools, but you have to do your research. All right. Please check us out at the Best College List series or the Best College List. We always want to help you, support you with your college admissions process, and that begins by doing your college search process, which is learning about schools. All right? Strategic admissions advice. We are always here to help. Thank you. Bye.